The rain was falling like a wall of silver needles, hitting the empty street with sharp tapping sounds. Thunder rolled above the city, shaking old buildings and sending a cold wind through the narrow alleys. Streetlights flickered in the darkness, fighting to stay alive against the storm. It was late at night, and almost no one was outside except one small human girl and a broken alien woman sitting alone in the shadows. The alien woman sat under a half-broken bus stop. Her body curled into itself as if she was trying to disappear. Her skin was a pale blue with glowing cracks running across her arms and neck like shattered glass. Every few seconds, those cracks flickered with weak light, showing how unstable she was. Her species glowed when under stress, and right now, her whole body was trembling. She had been crying quietly for hours, but the rain made it look like she was just soaked like the rest of the street. Her name, long forgotten by most, was Ryla. Once, she had been a healer on her homeworld. But now she was homeless, starving, hunted, and shaking from cold and fear. She had escaped from a human research facility just 3 days ago, and she had been running ever since. The rain mixed with her tears, dripping down her face as she hid her head between her arms. Every human who passed her quickly looked away. Some crossed the street. Some pulled their children closer. Others whispered, thinking she couldn't hear. Dangerous. Unstable alien. Don't go near her. Rayla had heard worse. Many times, she pressed her hands tightly against her chest, trying to stop her glowing lines from getting brighter. If they flared too much, she could lose control. And she didn't want to hurt anyone. Even after everything humans had done to her, she still didn't want to cause harm. Then, through the heavy curtain of rain, she sensed footsteps approaching, tiny footsteps. Light and soft, not like the heavy boots of soldiers. She slowly lifted her head. A little girl, maybe 6 years old, was walking alone down the street. Her clothes were wet, her shoes soaked, and her small yellow umbrella had turned inside out from the strong wind. But she did not look scared. She was walking straight toward Rayla as if she had seen something important, something that made her forget about the storm. Ryla's eyes widened with panic. "No, child, stay back," she whispered, her voice shaking. "It's not safe. I'm not safe." But the girl didn't stop. She kept walking until she stood right in front of the broken bus stop. Her dark hair clung to her cheeks, rain dripping from her eyelashes. She looked at the alien woman with wide, innocent eyes, without fear, without hate, without judgment. "You're crying," the girl said softly. Ryla quickly wiped her face with her shaking hand. "No, it's just raining." The girl stepped closer. "No, you're crying too." The alien woman felt something push inside her chest, a strange mix of fear and warmth. Humans had shouted at her, thrown things at her, locked her behind energy walls. But no one had ever spoken to her like this child just did. The girl tilted her head, studying Ryla's glowing cracks. "Does it hurt?" she asked. Rayla swallowed hard. "Sometimes." She tried to look away. "You shouldn't be here. You should go home before." "Before what?" "Before soldiers find me? Before my glow becomes too strong? Before I break?" But the little girl didn't move. Instead, she surprised Ryla with the gentlest words she had ever heard. "I think you need a hug." Rayla froze, her breath caught. Her glowing cracks pulsed once like a heartbeat. "No," she whispered. "Don't touch me. It's dangerous. I could lose control." She shook her head, trembling. "I don't want to hurt you." But the girl stepped closer anyway. Her small voice was almost lost in the sound of rain, but Rayla heard every word. "You look cold, and sad, and alone." The words pierced her like a soft blade. For a moment, Rayla forgot the pain, the hunger, the fear of being captured again. The glowing cracks dimmed slightly, as if responding to the girl's calmness. Slowly, very slowly, the girl lifted her arms, not afraid, not hesitant, Just innocent. Ryla's heart raced. "No, don't," she repeated, her voice breaking. "I am not like you. Humans get scared of me. Humans run from me." The girl frowned. "I'm not running." Lightning flashed behind them, making the street shine bright white for a second. Ryla could see her own reflection in the girl's eyes, broken, glowing, frightened. But the girl only saw someone who needed help. A warm tear rolled down Ryla's face. She hadn't been touched kindly in many years. Not since her home world. Not since she lost her people. The girl whispered, "No one should cry alone in the rain." Ryla let out a shaky breath. She wanted to pull back. She wanted to run. But her body wouldn't move. The child's kindness was stronger than fear. The girl slowly stepped forward, the rain falling softly around them, and wrapped her tiny arms around Ryla. Ryla gasped. Her glowing cracks softened. Her shaking stopped. Her energy calmed instead of exploding. For the first time in years, she felt warmth and safety. But just as she closed her eyes, she heard distant footsteps, heavy, metallic. Familiar soldiers, that they had found her, and the child was right in front of her. Asterisk. For a moment, the world stood still. The little girl's tiny arms were wrapped around Ryla's cold, shaking body. Rain fell in silver sheets around them, soaking both of them completely. Ryla had not been touched with kindness for years, yet this small human child held her as if she wasn't a monster, as if she wasn't dangerous, as if she deserved love. Ryla felt something inside her shift, something deep, old, and almost forgotten. Her glowing cracks, which usually flared brighter when touched, now softened into a gentle blue. Her energy pulse slowed. Her breathing calmed. Instead of losing control, she felt stable, almost peaceful. The girl whispered softly, "See? It's okay." No one had ever said those words to Ryla before, but the beautiful moment shattered. When Ryla heard the sound she feared most, heavy boots splashing through puddles, soldiers, the same type that had kept her locked in a cold, bright lab, studying her, poking her, chaining her. Her heart jumped into panic. She gently pushed the girl back. "Listen to me," Ryla said urgently. "You must go, now." But the little girl only tightened her hold on Ryla's hand. "Why? Who are they?" "People who want to take me," Ryla whispered, shaking. "People who think I am dangerous." The girl blinked up at her. "But you're not." Ryla swallowed hard. How could this human child see what adults refuse to see? What scientists refuse to understand? What soldiers refuse to believe? "Please," Ryla said, her voice desperate. "If they find you with me, they will separate us. You will get hurt because of me." Still, the child didn't run. She just stepped in front of Ryla, as if her tiny body could shield the alien woman from danger. Before Ryla could pull her back, the first soldier appeared under a flickering streetlight. Rain dripped from his helmet as he raised a glowing scanner in their direction. "There she is," he shouted. "Subject X-41. Do not move." More soldiers rushed behind him, their boots smashing through puddles, forming a half-circle around the bus stop. Ryla stepped forward, shielding the child with her own glowing body. Her voice cracked. "Please. I don't want trouble." "Hands where we can see them," one soldier ordered. "You're coming back to the facility." Ryla's glowing cracks pulsed wildly. Panic threatened to send her into overload. She fought it with everything inside her, trying to stay calm for the child. Then the little girl suddenly stepped in front of Ryla, raising both her hands. "Stop!" she yelled. The soldiers froze, not because they respected her, but because they weren't, expecting the child to stand between them and a glowing alien. "Move away from the alien," the lead soldier said. "No." The girl cried. Rain ran down her face like tears. "She's not bad. She's crying and cold and scared. You can't hurt her." Her voice trembled. but she didn't back down. Her small body shook in fear, but her courage stood taller than any soldier there. Ryla stared at the child in disbelief. "You should not defend me," she whispered. "You saved me too," the girl said. "When you hugged me back." Ryla didn't know she had hugged the girl back, but the child had felt it. The soldiers exchanged glances. They weren't trained for this. A dangerous alien was one thing. A child courageously protecting that alien was something else entirely. The lead soldier stepped forward again. "Girl, listen, she's unstable. She could explode with energy." The girl shook her head fiercely. "But she didn't. She calmed down when I hugged her. She needs help, not cages." Her words echoed through the wet street. Even the rain seemed to quiet for a second. Ryla's energy pulsed softly, a strange, peaceful light. The soldier scanned the alien again. No spike in radiation. No harmful energy surge. He stared at his device. "That's impossible. She's stable." Ryla closed her eyes, barely breathing. The girl squeezed her hand like she was telling her, "Don't be scared. I'm right here." The soldiers couldn't understand what they were seeing. They expected a violent alien. They found a crying woman and a fearless little girl holding her hand. Thunder boomed above them. But no one moved. Then the girl whispered something that hit Ryla harder than any weapon ever could. "I won't let them take you." Ryla felt her chest tighten. Her species called this feeling soul bonding, a rare connection formed during deep, emotional contact. She had thought she would die alone. She had thought humans only saw her as a threat, but this little human child, this tiny spark of hope, saw her as a person. The soldiers, confused and uncertain, lowered their scanners slightly. Ryla looked down at the girl through the rain. "You saved me," she whispered. "No," the girl said softly. "We saved each other." And for the first time since her world was destroyed, Ryla believed it. Asterisk rain hammered the street like falling arrows, splashing around Ryla and the little girl as the soldiers stood frozen. For a moment, no one moved. The glowing cracks on Ryla's skin pulsed gently, proving she was calm. Calmer than she had been in years, but calm never lasted long. One soldier stepped back and pressed the side of his helmet. "We found the target. Send backup." "She's with a child." The girl flinched at the word target, but she didn't let go of Ryla's hand. Ryla's heart dropped. Backup meant more soldiers, more scanners, more weapons. "We have to run," Ryla whispered. The girl nodded without hesitation. She trusted Ryla completely, even with fear chasing them. Ryla grabbed her hand, and together they dashed through the rain-soaked street. Their feet splashed through puddles as lightning tore across the sky. The city lights reflected on the wet road, turning everything into bright streaks of neon blue and purple. Soldiers shouted behind them. "Stop! Don't let her escape! Follow the energy trail!" Ryla pulled the girl into a narrow alley filled with hissing steam pipes and flickering signs. The rain didn't reach here, but the air was thick with smoke and the hum of old machines. Her glowing cracks lit up the walls as they ran, casting ghostly shadows around them. The girl breathed hard but kept up. She didn't complain, didn't cry, she just held onto Ryla's hand like it was the safest place in the world. Ryla looked down at her, amazed by her bravery. "What is your name?" she asked between breaths. "Leah," the girl said. The name fit her small. "Bright, full of hope. I will keep you safe." "Leah," Ryla promised. "And I'll keep you safe too," Leah said softly. Even though her tiny legs were shaking, Ryla felt something warm grow inside her chest again. A feeling she thought she lost the day her world was destroyed. But the warmth faded when she heard the mechanical buzz of drones overhead. The soldiers had released sky scanners. A sharp red beam swept across the alley. "Down!" Ryla whispered, pulling Leah behind a metal dumpster. The beam passed inches above their heads. Scanning the area, Ryla held her breath. Leah squeezed Ryla's broken hand. The drone moved on, its engine fading into the storm. RHY Leah exhaled slowly. We need to hide somewhere safer. Leah thought for a moment. The big old library. It's close. No one goes there at night. Rayla nodded. Lead the way. They crawled out of the alley and moved quickly toward a wide street filled with broken neon signs and glowing advertisements. Even in the storm, the city looked alive, colors dancing on every corner, but soldiers were spreading out, blocking streets, scanning rooftops, calling Rayla's name like she was some creature they owned. Subject X41. Come out with your hands up. Leah pulled Ryla's hand. Don't listen to them. You're not a subject. Rayla felt a tear mix with rain on her cheek. They ran again, dodging between food stalls, jumping over puddles, slipping past a closed market entrance. Rayla tried to keep her glow dim so the scanners wouldn't detect her, but fear made it flicker brighter. Suddenly, a tall soldier turned the corner ahead. There! He yelled. Rayla reacted instinctively. She lifted her hand and released a soft shockwave, not enough to hurt the soldier, just enough to push him back. He stumbled and fell, dropping his scanner. Leah gasped. You saved us. Rayla shook her head. No, I only bought us seconds. We must move. They sprinted across the street and finally reached the old library. Its doors were huge, wooden, and worn by time. Leah pushed with all her strength, and the door creaked open. They slipped inside. Darkness swallowed them, along with the scent of wet books and cold stone. Rayla gently shut the door. The outside noise faded, replaced by soft echoes inside the massive library hall. Moonlight slipped through cracked windows, forming pale beams across the dusty floor. Leah collapsed onto the carpeted steps, breathing hard. Rayla knelt beside her. Are you okay? Leah nodded slowly. Just tired. You were very brave, Rayla said softly. Leah smiled. I didn't want them to take you. Rayla felt her glowing cracks soften from bright blue to a peaceful pale hue. This library, this child, this moment. It felt safe. For the first time in a long time, Rayla sat beside Leah, leaning her back against a wooden shelf. The storm outside continued to roar, but inside the library, the world was quiet. Why were they chasing you? Leah asked. Rayla lowered her eyes. Because humans caught my people, put us in cages, used us for experiments. I escaped. Leah's face fell. That's horrible. Rayla nodded. I was alone for a long time. Not anymore, Leah whispered. Rayla looked at the little girl beside her, the first human who ever showed her kindness, for the first time since she lost her planet. Rayla didn't feel like a hunted creature. She felt seen. She felt protected. And she felt something she never expected to feel again. Hope. Asterisk. The old library felt like another world. The storm outside raged like a wild beast, but inside, everything was still. Dust floated softly in the air. Shelves stretched across the hall like quiet giants watching over them. Moonlight slipped through cracked windows, drawing long silver lines across the floor. RHY and Leah sat together near a tall bookshelf, their clothes still dripping from the rain. The warm silence between them felt almost healing. Rayla had never known such peace, not since her planet fell apart. Leah leaned closer, hugging her knees. Rayla, she whispered, will you tell me? What happened to you? Why were you crying in the rain? Rayla looked down at her glowing cracks, now a calm blue instead of wild, unstable light. She touched her chest right over the deepest crack, where the glow pulsed quietly like a slow heartbeat. My past, she said softly. It is not easy to speak of, but you deserve the truth. Leah nodded gently. Rayla closed her eyes and began. Once, Rayla said, her voice low, I lived on a world called Oldara. My people were healers. We carried light inside our bodies, not for fighting, but for saving. When someone was hurt, we used our inner glow to heal their wounds. When someone was afraid, we calmed their hearts. Leah's eyes widened. You could heal people? Rayla nodded. Yes, I once healed hundreds. Children, elders, even animals. My world believed there was no gift greater than giving life. She paused, her glow dimming slightly. But one day, everything changed. Leah waited quietly. Rayla continued, her voice trembling. We saw fire falling from the sky. Huge metal ships. Not from our world. They attacked without warning. We had no armies, no weapons. We believed peace was enough. She shook her head slowly. We were wrong. Leah's small hand gently touched Ryla's arm, urging her to go on. Our cities burned. Our oceans boiled. We tried to heal the injured, but the attacks did not stop. Her voice cracked. My people glowed so bright from fear that their bodies broke, Leah gasped. Broke? Rayla nodded painfully. When our emotions become too strong, fear, panic, grief, our glow becomes unstable. It cracks our skin, our bones, even our hearts. Leah's eyes filled with tears. Rayla swallowed hard. I watched my mother glow too bright and disappear into white light. I tried to save her. I tried to save everyone. But I was only one healer. Leah moved closer, touching Rayla's hand, warmth comforting the alien woman. Rayla continued with a shaking voice. In the end, only a handful of us escaped. We boarded small escape pods and floated into space, hoping anyone would help us. Her face darkened. But the humans who found us did not help. Leah bit her lip. What did they do? Rayla looked into the dusty shadows. They took us to a facility. Underground. They called us subjects. They put glowing bracelets on our wrists to stop our powers. They tested us, hurt us. Wanted to use our healing light for war. Leah's hands clenched. That's terrible. One by one, my people died, Rayla whispered. Some from the tests. Others from fear. You see, our bodies are not just physical. We feel too deeply. A tear rolled down her cheek. I became the last healer left. Leah's voice trembled. You're the only one? Rayla nodded. Yes, I escaped when the power failed during a storm. I ran for days. Hid in tunnels, alleys, rooftops. Everywhere I went, humans feared me. Some threw stones. Some shouted. Some chased me. I had no food, no rest, no hope. She lifted her hand. That is why my glow cracked. I was losing myself. My body could not hold my emotions anymore. She looked at Leah with gentle eyes. And then, I met you. Leah's breath hitched. Me? Rayla managed a soft smile. Yes, when you hugged me, something impossible happened. My glow calmed. My crack softened. My heart felt steady again. No one, not even my own people, ever made me feel that safe. Leah's cheeks turned pink. Because you needed someone to care for you. Rayla blinked in surprise. Care for me? Even after knowing all this? Leah nodded firmly. You cried alone in the rain. People should help each other. That's what my mom always said. Rayla felt warmth spread across her chest. For the first time since Eldara fell, she felt understood. But that warmth vanished when a loud metallic thud echoed from outside the library. Both of them froze. Another. Thud. Boots. Voices. Troops. Leah grabbed Rayla's hand. They found us. Rayla stood slowly, her glow brightening not wildly, but with controlled strength. Then I will protect you, she said, her voice firm for the first time. Leah squeezed her hand tight. And I'll stay with you no matter what. The storm outside roared louder. The soldiers were getting closer. and the past Rayla had tried so hard to escape, was now standing at the library door. The library shook as heavy boots thundered outside. The sound echoed through the long hall, bouncing against tall shelves and dusty walls. Rayla and Leah stood behind a row of old bookshelves, their hands tightly intertwined. Moonlight cut through the cracked windows, leaving sharp silver lines across the floor. Leah whispered, "Rayla, what are we going to do?" Rayla took a slow breath, feeling her glowing cracks pulse softly. "I will not let them take me, and I will never let them take you." Leah swallowed but nodded bravely. A loud metallic bang struck the front doors. Then another. And another. The old wooden doors were not going to last much longer. Rayla looked around desperately. The shelves were too tall to climb. The windows were barred. There were no secret passages. They were trapped. But then, she remembered something about her people, something she hadn't done in years. A protective glow. A shield made not from power, but from emotion. She looked down at Leah. "I need you to stay close. Do not let go of my hand." Leah nodded instantly. The door finally burst open with a deafening crack. Soldiers rushed inside, scanning the dark hall with bright flashlights and glowing scanners. Their helmets made them look like metal creatures hunting prey. "Subject X-41 is inside. Spread out. Thermal scans are picking up movement near the far shelves. Move, move, move." Leah pressed herself against Rayla's leg. Rayla crouched low, wrapping an arm protectively around the girl. The soldiers walked slowly between the aisles of books, their beams searching every shadow. Rayla whispered, "Close your eyes." Leah obeyed. Rayla placed her hand on the girl's back. Her glowing cracks brightened, but not with panic. This time, she focused on calmness, on safety, on the warmth she felt whenever Leah held her. A soft blue glow expanded from her chest, spreading across her shoulders, then down her arms, finally surrounding both of them like a soft bubble. Leah felt the warmth immediately. "It's beautiful. It is a shield," Rayla whispered. "One only my kind can create." The glowing bubble shimmered softly in the dark, but before they could move, a soldier stepped around the corner and spotted them. "There." He raised his scanner and lights flashed. "Target confirmed. Officers, converge on my position." More soldiers gathered around the aisle, surrounding Rayla and Leah from all sides. Rayla held Leah close, expecting fear. But the girl whispered, "I'm not scared when I'm with you." Those simple words made Rayla's glow pulse even brighter and steadier. A soldier stepped forward. "Subject X-41, lower your glow. Release the child. You will not be harmed." Leah yelled back, "You keep saying that, but you never tell the truth." The soldier stiffened. His fingers tightened around his weapon. Rayla stood slowly, still holding Leah's hand. Her shield glowed brighter, casting a soft halo around them. "I do not want to fight," Rayla said. "But I will not return to your cages." "This is for your safety," another soldier said. "No," Rayla replied, her voice shaking with emotion. "It is for your experiments." Silence fell for a moment. Then Leah stepped in front of Rayla, her small body trembling but brave. "You can't take her," Leah said firmly. "She saved me. She protected me. And you hurt her. You hurt all of her people." The soldiers exchanged uncertain looks. This wasn't in their training manual. Children weren't supposed to defend aliens. Aliens weren't supposed to protect humans. Nothing about this situation made sense to them. One soldier lowered his scanner slightly. "She's a danger, kid." "No." Leah cried. "She calmed down because I hugged her. Can't you see? She's safer than all of you." Her words echoed across the silent library. Rayla's heart swelled. Even during the fall of Aldara, she had never witnessed such courage from someone so small. The soldiers hesitated. The scanner reading showed no instability, no threat, no risk of explosion. One soldier whispered to another, "Her glow is steady, stable. That's impossible without equipment." Another added, "Is the kid affecting her energy?" Rila stepped forward, her shield shimmering like soft moonlight. "I do not want war," she said. "I only wanted to survive. And this child, she gave me something I thought I lost. What's that?" A soldier asked quietly. Rila looked down at Leah, who held her hand tighter. "Hope." The soldiers stood frozen. The glow around Rila and Leah shifted colors, blue to white, white to gold, like a peaceful sunrise. That it wasn't the glow of a prisoner, that it was the glow of a soul being healed. Rila looked around slowly. "If you take me, she will cry. She will be alone. And I cannot allow that." Leah whispered, "Rila, don't leave me." The shield brightened, pushing the soldiers back slightly, not with force, but with warmth. A feeling none of them had expected, for the first time since the chase began. The soldiers looked less like captors, and more like people unsure if they were doing the right thing. Asterisk. The soldiers stood frozen as the soft golden shield around Rila and Leah glowed brighter. Not with violence, but with warmth. It filled the library with a quiet, peaceful light, pushing back the darkness of the storm outside. None of the soldiers had ever seen anything like it. They expected danger. They found healing. They expected a monster. They found a mother-like protector holding a child. The lead soldier's helmet flickered with a notification. His visor lit up with red text, "Public drones. Livestream activated." Unknown to everyone, 3 news drones had followed the soldiers into the area. They hovered silently outside the broken library doors, recording everything. Millions of people were watching live every soldier's movement, every word, every glow. The world saw Leah standing bravely in front of Rila, a tiny child shielding an alien with her small body. The world saw Rila's soft glow, not dangerous but gentle. Not unstable, but steady. The world saw the truth. Leah turned to Rila, whispering, "Why are they still scared?" Rila knelt down. "Because they do not know me." Fear grows in silence. Grow faster. Leah looked at the soldiers again, her eyes bright. Then, without warning, she stepped through the glowing shield and walked forward. "Leah!" Rila reached out in fear, but Leah turned back and smiled. "It's okay. You're right here." The soldiers tensed, worried the alien might react, but Rila stayed still, her glow calm and steady. Leah faced the soldiers. Her clothes were still wet. Her hair was messy. Her shoes squeaked when she moved. But she stood with the strength of someone far older. Her small voice rose in the large library hall. "Why are you trying to hurt her? She's crying. She's alone. She lost her whole world. And you're treating her like she's nothing." The soldiers lowered their weapons slightly. Leah's voice shook, but she continued, "She saved me. She held my hand. She protected me when you were chasing us. She didn't use her power to hurt anyone. Not even once." A nearby news drone zoomed closer, recording her trembling face. Leah pointed at Rayla's glowing cracks. "She glows because she's scared, not because she's dangerous. And when I hugged her, she got better. She calmed down. Why can't you see that?" Silence filled the hall. Rayla watched from behind the shield, her chest tight with emotion. No healer of Uldara had ever been defended this fiercely, not by an adult, not by a leader, especially not by a human. One soldier finally spoke, voice low. "We're just doing our job, kid." Leah stepped closer, unafraid. "Your job is to protect people, right?" The soldier nodded slowly. "Then protect her," Leah said. "She's people too." The words hit the soldiers like a thunderbolt. They looked at Rayla again, not as a target, not as a subject, Not as a glowing creature, but as a living being with pain, memories, and hope. Another drone broadcast the scene to the world. Social media exploded. Hashtags appeared instantly. Hashtag protect RHYLA. Hashtag alien not enemy. #Laya. The brave RHYLA whispered to herself, "What is happening? Humans are seeing me?" Leah walked back into the shield and took Ryla's hand again. They're listening now. Ryla's glow shifted, deepening into a soft white like moonlight on calm water. The lead soldier stepped forward. He removed his helmet, revealing tired eyes that held more confusion than anger. "What exactly are you?" he asked quietly. Ryla looked down. "A healer." "The last one, a healer?" he repeated, struggling to understand. Ryla gently lifted her free hand. A soft light grew in her palm, warm and golden. Leah whispered, "Show them, Ryla. Show them who you really are." Ryla hesitated, then touched her hand to a broken wooden table nearby. The crack in the wood glowed for a moment, then sealed itself completely. The soldiers stared in silence. "You fix things," one of them said softly. Ryla nodded. "I fix people too when they let me." The library fell into a deep, emotional silence. Laya looked up at Ryla proudly. "She fixed me when I was scared." "But I did nothing," Ryla whispered. Leah shook her head. "You were kind. That's enough." Another soldier lowered his weapon completely. "She's not a threat," he said to the others. "She's a healer. And she's stable." The lead soldier looked at Leah and Ryla, two hands, joined under a glowing shield of peace. Then he whispered the words the whole world was waiting for. "Stand down. Everyone, lower your weapons." A wave of relief washed over the library. Ryla's glow softened. Leah smiled. The world watching held its breath, because in that single moment, a child's courage did what armies, laws, and scientists could not. It broke the fear between two different worlds. The library glowed softly with the fading light of Ryla's shield. Soldiers had lowered their weapons. News drones floated silently near the door, still recording every breath, every heartbeat. Outside, the storm began to weaken, its thunder now distant and tired. Ryla stood with Leah's small hand held tightly in hers. For the first time in years, she wasn't running. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't being hunted. She was simply standing still. The lead soldier stepped forward, helmet tucked under his arm. Rain dripped from his hair, making him look younger, more human, less like a machine. "We're not taking you back to the facility," he said quietly. "Too many people watched what just happened. The world saw you protect this child." Ryla looked at him, unsure if she should believe him, "And the world," he continued, "saw this child protect you." Leah squeezed Ryla's hand proudly. Ryla bowed her head slightly. "Thank you." But the soldier shook his head. "Don't thank me. Thank her." He nodded at Leah. "You changed everything." Leah blushed softly. "I just did the right thing." Ryla's glow pulsed with gentle affection. "In my world, bravery like yours was rare," she whispered. Before any of them could say more, a distant voice echoed across the hall. "Leah." The library doors swung open again, not with force, but with fear and worry. A woman and a man rushed inside, scanning the room wildly until they spotted the little girl. "Mom, Dad!" Leah cried, releasing Ryla's hand only to run straight toward them. Her mother dropped to her knees and hugged her tightly. "Oh, thank God. We were searching everywhere. You ran out in the storm. You scared us so much." Leah's father wrapped his arms around both of them. He looked shaken but relieved. Then he noticed Ryla. The moment the two parents saw the glowing alien woman standing alone near the shelves, their faces froze. Instinctively, the father pulled Leah closer. "Stay back, sweetie." But Leah quickly shook her head. "No, she's not bad. She's my friend. Her mother blinked. Your friend? Rayla didn't step forward. She stood still, hands visible, glow soft and harmless. I mean no harm, Rayla said quietly. Your child found me crying in the rain. I owe her my life. The mother stared into Rayla's glowing cracks, reading them like lines of pain. Were you really crying? Rayla nodded once. Leah tugged her parents' hands. She was alone. Everyone ignored her. But she saved me. She protected me. And she didn't hurt any soldier. The father looked at the soldiers for confirmation. Several of them nodded silently. Leah stepped forward again, her tiny hand reaching out to Rayla. Can she come home? Please, just for tonight? The parents hesitated. Fear and kindness battled inside them. The mother looked at Rayla more closely. Her voice softened. You're hurt, aren't you? Rayla looked down at her cracked, glowing skin. My body reflects my emotions. The glow is pain, and fear, and loneliness. Leah's mother's expression changed, fear slowly melting into compassion. Then you shouldn't be alone tonight. The father sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. This is crazy. But she protected our daughter. Finally he stepped forward. If you mean no harm, you can come home with us. Rayla froze. Home. That word hit her harder than any weapon. She hadn't had a home since the day old Dara was destroyed. Her voice trembled. You trust me? Leah's mother reached out and gently touched Rayla's hand. Her fingers passed through the soft glow without fear. I trust the way you look at my daughter, she said. And I trust the way she looks at you. Rayla bowed her head, overwhelmed. I will protect her always. Leah grabbed Rayla's hand, smiling from ear to ear. I told you, Rayla, you needed a hug. Rayla let out a shaky laugh, a sound she hadn't made in years. The soldiers slowly left the library, calling off the chase. The drones drifted outside, broadcasting a message of peace across the world. Humans everywhere saw something powerful, a child's innocence healing a wounded alien. A lonely survivor being welcomed into a family. Two worlds breaking fear and building hope. On the walk home, Rayla looked up at the sky. The storm clouds were clearing, revealing faint stars. Leah leaned against her arm. Rayla, what will happen now? Rayla smiled softly, her glow warm like sunrise. Now, I learn what home feels like. Leah hugged her tightly again. You'll never cry alone again. Not ever. Rayla whispered back, voice shaking with emotion. And you will never face danger alone. As they stepped inside the family's warm house lights glowing gently, blankets waiting. Food on the table, Rayla felt something she had long forgotten. Peace, belonging. Family. For the first time since her world died, Rayla wasn't lost. She was home.